Alright, hey everyone. We're going to give you kind of a tutorial here on how to use the green screen equipment, and eventually we'll talk more about how to use the software and hopefully just get you a little more acclimated with all the equipment you need to put together a great video. So, to start off, we've got a green screen. Now I think it comes with a stand, so you can stand it up if you want. Or we just screwed holes into the wall here and we just hang it right on the wall.
The best thing, most important thing you want with this is to have it no wrinkles in it. The wrinkles will cause differences in color when it comes to doing the chroma key stuff that we'll teach you about later. So if you have any really deep creases or wrinkles in there,
Yeah, you don't want anything like this.
yeah,
That'll cause problems.
The shadow on that will be a problem. So if it's a little wrinkly, it's okay, but we just don't want to have any big creases in it for that.
It's also important that there is not any light behind it. So you can't put it in front of a window or anything like that.
Yeah, if you put have light come from behind it, that green screen is see-through enough because it's cloth that you will it won't act as a solid green. It'll be luminescent and transparent. So
the most important thing while you're setting up the lighting is that, number one, the screen is lit, and number two, whoever or whatever you're recording is lit. So there really isn't any specific special way to set up the lights. You just have to make sure that the person being recorded is lit and that the screen is lit. So Josh is getting these pulled up here. Sometimes what we'll do is we'll take one of the lights and we'll set it on the floor and shine it right up at the person. We have some extra lights actually that we grab from the basement that we use to just shine on the screen and make sure that everything stays lit enough, because if there's any shadows or dark patches, you're going to run into problems when you're trying to edit.
So if we turn these on, you can see the large difference between that, and then if Aaron stands in front of there, you can see that it looks pretty solid. He's there's no shadow behind him, and he's very clearly has a lot of light on him, so he is covered in light. Again, you can turn these and face them all you want. This came with our kit when we got our green screen, but one of the problems that we found is that if you go with overhead lights, that it can cause a not as good of a light. And so we like having not all of the lights. The only lights that we like having on are the actual lights that we use for our front green screen. We don't like to have other lights being on. So if you're doing this in a room that has fluorescent lights, overheads, they cause a lot of shadows, and they aren't conducive to being able to light the subject on. They cause a lot harsher of a light. So we like to make sure the only lights that we're using are the lights for our green screen. It may seem like they're not as bright, but you'll see a big difference in the color rather than the lights coming overhead. So now that we have these, we just want to set up the camera. So we're going to scooch the camera a little bit here.
I guess I should probably sit there.
Yeah. So Aaron right now is obviously in front of the camera. We can go. It's difficult unless you have a green floor as well, and then a lot more lighting to be able to go anything lower than the knees. So you're not going to be able to get a full green screen effect all the way down through bottom of your feet, unless of course you have a lot more technology than we have right here. But this seems to work really well. You can tell that Aaron's from his waist on up are well lit. He's wearing a green shirt, which is not the best thing to be able to wearing, obviously, right now. A lot of times what we'll also do is we'll take a mic stand and an extra XLR cord, and we'll extend the microphone. Our microphone right now on our Sony rests on the actual camera, but we'll boom mic it over top so that we can get better audio, more solid audio coming from the subject that we're recording.
Yeah, most digital cameras and digital camcorders will give you a decent picture, but getting decent audio is kind of hard. So if you're looking for a good camera, I think the one we're using was like $2,000 or something. You don't need one that's that much money, but if there's any way that you can get an external mic other than just the one that's on a cheap digital camera, any kind of higher quality mic that you can put closer to the person, that's going to be helpful in getting good audio.
Yeah, so an external mic rather than an internal mic is going to be really helpful with that. So after we record Aaron saying what he is, we always want to always remind people when we do these videos to not move around too much when we're in this smaller space because that does allow for more shadows. If we want to do stuff that we are moving around, we make sure that our light is much more spread out so that it covers those shadows. We have a lot more backlight as well as front light. But if we're just doing a normal, like a video announcement like we do for church, Aaron just wants to make sure that he doesn't flail his arms a lot or move a lot because, and stand away from the green screen a little bit so that he doesn't cause that shadow, which would allow us, which would hinder us in doing our chroma keying later in our process.
So we're going to continue the tutorial now for the green screen and the editing software. Go ahead and open up Movie Studio Platinum by clicking on the icon, let it load. You'll have a couple options here. If you want to watch the tutorial, you can do that. We're just going to click New and just start a new project. Right by Video, where the cursor is now, you have the option of choosing the file input type. So basically what this is whatever file your camera saves its files as, or whatever file type your camera saves its files as, that's what you select over here. So our camera, when it records, it saves the files in AVC HD. So that's what we're going to select. And then over here by project, you've just got different options for the quality of the video that you want, the higher numbers or higher resolution. So we always save it as the top one, the 1920 times 1080. So then you click OK. And then we're going to go find some files that we're going to use, the files that we have already recorded. Here's the one we're going to use. Click on it, click Open. There it is. We also want to put some music behind it, so we're going to hit Add Media again. We're going to go looking for the music file we want. There it is. And so now all of the files that we need for making our final movie are here in our Project Media section.
So what you have down here is you have a couple of different options. This one, these are the ones that default come up. You have music, audio, video, text. The text and video ones, they are both video components over here. They both have video. You can see the little video icon right there. Audio and music, you can tell, are both obviously audio files, or where audio files go. So if you ever need to add other ones, what you do is right click here and you can go to Insert Video Track, or you can right click on the audio one and go to Insert Audio Track. Those are just different ways to be able to have multiple audio levels or multiple video levels. You'll see why when we use a green screen to be able to do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this green screen tutorial video we have and we're going to pull it right here on video. It's going to ask you normally, do you want to set your project video settings to match this media? It just means, do you want it to match, or do you want it to stay at the original? We always go with always base your stuff off the first video added, so it'll always be right around here. So you can see we have our video in the video section here, and our audio is down here. So you have two different, it's been kind of pulled into two different file types matched up together. So we're going to chroma key it now. Aaron can tell you how we're going to do that.
Yeah, so right click on the video portion of the file you've got down there. Yeah, right there, right click on that, go to Video Event Effects, and then find Sony Chroma Keyer. This is the most important of the effects that you'll use. So Sony Chroma Keyer, go to the top left, or sorry, the top right and click OK. Now what you're going to want to do, there's a couple steps for chroma keying your video.
It darkens everything to begin with, and that's because you have this high threshold right here up. So what you want to do is pull that back to bring that to your original color.
So the next thing you're going to want to do is go up to where it says color. Usually blue is the default. Click on the little eyedropper looking thing, and then go ahead and click on a green section of the green screen behind the people that you were recording. It'll change color, and then you're going to take your cursor over to the low threshold and slowly drag it up.
What you can see is that takes that green that it was selected and slowly starts to fade that away to black. Now it looks black, but really it's transparent, so it just looks black on the screen right here. When we decide to pull a picture into the background or another video, you'll be able to see that that'll show up behind them, the individuals you have recorded. So you can go to this low threshold if you have really good lighting. You'll notice it goes right up to the creases, right up to the edges. Sometimes you might not, so you need to use this high threshold. This high threshold almost feathers everything, so you can see that it very slowly blends everything. So we kind of use a combination of both. You're going to have to find out which one is the best for your video, depending on your lighting and where people are standing, shadows, etc.
Yeah, there's no tried and true way that you do it every single time. You just got to mess with the low threshold and the high threshold until you get it so that it's all black except for the people that you're recording.
Yep. And so then we're going to go to a blur amount. As you can tell up here, this is for our how it simulates right now. We have it on like the preview. It's on medium quality just because it doesn't take as long. But you can see there's a little bit of a blurry edge here, a little bit of a jagged edge. And so we don't want to have my shoulder or Aaron's shoulders look like we're in Microsoft Paint. So what we're going to do is we're going to come to this blur right here. And we found that a 0.01 is the best. If you can't tell, it changed that a little bit. I'll go back and show you again. There's 0. And if you look at the difference between 0.01, it fades those edges just a little bit to be able to do that different. I'll go to just a 1 blur, and you can tell it blurs everything around there. So that 0.01, 0.02 is pretty standard what we found that works for that. So that's your Sony chroma keyer right there. Now your background is transparent.
Should we pull a picture in?
Yep, we can pull a picture in. So what we're going to do is we're going to go
to add media. Yeah, we'll go back to add media, and we're going to look for a picture that we can pull in here that'll work well for that'll work.
All right.
Found a picture to use that we're going to put in the background.
So what we're going to do is we don't want to put in the text because we're going to put a text over top of this. So what we want to do is again add a video track. So we added a video track here. Now we want this picture right here to go below, to go underneath of the picture that was green screen, the video that was green screen, because it's going to go behind it. So if we were to pull this in front right here, you can see all you're going to see is that over top, if that makes sense. So instead of that, we want to take this video track. We'll label this one video, or we'll label this one picture. We want to take this picture track and put it below the video track because that's the order of which it goes in. So you'll see as soon as we get to this, now you'll see that behind where we were green screened, that picture is showing up. One of the problems you'll come in and then is that won't fill out the entire square of the video. Right now you can see the black edges here and underneath. So what we're going to do is we're going to right click on that, go back to our video event FX, and we can actually just exit off or hit OK on this. We don't need to select one of these selections right here. What we actually want is we want this over here, this event pan / crop. And this is an opportunity for you to kind of change how big the background is or small. So we're going to leave it at its original. But what we're going to do is we're going to right click and we're going to go to match output aspect. Now all that does is it means that it's going to match this picture to the output aspect of the video. And if you do that, you can see right here in the background, it pulled it all the way to the edges, changed the dimensions of the picture here so that we get it all the way to the edges. And so if we exit off this, we can see that behind Aaron and I, that this video will show up behind me. And then finally, to get that all the way behind everything we have with the green screen, is we're going to take it, we're going to drag it all the way. And since it's a picture, a still moving picture, we don't have to worry about it looping over or anything like that because it's just going to stay constant. So you can see that where we green screened, now there is a picture of our worship service poured out last year in our big gym behind Aaron and I.
Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put some music behind our video. So we have the Musics for Green Screen file that we pulled in back when we were originally putting our media in here for the video. And you'll see that we pulled that down to the music section. And so this big long purple file here is our background music. You'll notice if we play it right now, just from the start.
This August 2nd through the 7th.
The music is much too loud, and so we're going to have to change the volume. So you can change the volume over here on the left by dragging back and forth. You can also change it by going to the actual file and dragging that line down. That'll change the volume. Either of those will work. You can kind of get a good balance to make sure that you can actually hear the music and you can also hear the person talking.
Hey everyone, this August 2nd through the 7th, Emmanuel's high school students will be taking a trip to West Virginia.
There we go.
You don't want, you can tell this file is really long.
Yeah, so we don't need music for that long, because once the video is over, the video is over. We don't need the music. So what you can do is go to take the cursor there and click this line here at the end of the video. And then this is where we'll do a lot of the editing down here. We have the delete, the trim start, the trim end, and split. This is how you can kind of cut your files up. So if you see the cursor there on the video or on the music file is right there where the video ends. If you click trim end, it'll just cut everything from there to the end of the file. So now our music is exactly the same length as our video.
Nope. It will do the same thing if you were to click trim start. Delete does what you would think it does. Auto ripple's a little different. If we were to pull, we're going to pull this video again in here just to show you. If I move this front video file here and I move it back, you can see that the same video that's on the same lines move with it. So that auto ripple kind of connects those two even though they're not the same video. If I were to take this auto ripple off, that means that I can independently move this section of the video in the same line along with that one. And so it won't change everything. This is good if you have to insert a video file into something without wanting to mess everything else up if you have stuff timed out. But it's always nice to have this auto ripple because if you move one thing and you have it all set, it'll move everything along with it that are in those same two lines. So I'm going to delete this one out and we'll get back to this. But that auto ripple, we normally leave that on unless we have to move small things that we've done that are timed out really, really close, and we think it's going to mess those up.
Put some text media in.
Yep, so we can now put some text media over top so you can see our video here, a little previewed. Here, so we want to put some text video over top and put, this is our blooper outtake reel. So we're going to go to insert text media here in this upper one, so we selected that.
Alright, so this is where you can put some words on the screen over your video. So let's just put our names up there. So highlight sample text, type in, my name is Aaron, and his name is Josh, so we'll put in Aaron and Josh. You can change the font. We usually you use this one right here. It looks kind of cool. You can change the size. You can really change. You can change whatever you want to.
You can also change the size over here. If you see to the right, you can change. There's this empty box. If we highlight over top of there, you can see this is Aaron and Josh. You can move and change this with over here just with the mouse. So we'll make this right here.
So now that this text media kind of becomes its own little file, yeah, you can change the color. You can change how thick it is. There's all kinds of stuff you can change about it. But essentially, this text media now kind of becomes its own. It's like its own video file. So if you look at where it is there, you can see it'll start right at the beginning with the rest of our video. But then after about 4 seconds or so, or 5 seconds, I guess, it's going to disappear. So just like the other video, yeah, you can drag that out and you can make that as short or as long as you'd like.
Now sometimes you have this music is going to abruptly stop, and especially for this video it really wouldn't matter, but for some videos it would make a difference. If it stopped abruptly, it would sound weird. So what we want to do is we want to fade it out. That's this option right here. We have the normal selector and the fade selector. It just changes how your mouse interacts with the video and audio files. Normal allows you to stretch these and trim them. Fade one allows you to do exactly that, fade. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this and fade a little bit. And as you can see, this audio file right here starts to fade out the sound. So we're gonna do that. We're also gonna do that here with this text media, and we're gonna fade it in so that it kind of so it fades in and then fades out. It doesn't just start very quickly.
You can do the same thing with the music too. You can fade the music in.
Yep, and that's what we've faded this music out. We haven't faded it in because we're at the start of a song, and most songs fade in naturally anyways on their own. So what we've done here in the last little bit is we've taken our video that we had put together of our bloopers and green screen. Again, with the green screen, like we showed you before, we want to make sure that you have very good lighting, very little shadows. Those affect how the different colors of green. We've taken those and chroma keyed them, put this background in. Again, we want to make sure that it's underneath this video. If it's over top, that's what you're going to see. You're not going to see the actual video because there's no see-through aspects to this picture. Again, it wants to be below that original video that's got the chroma key in it. We've taken our audio. We're going to turn this up a little bit because we like to hear ourselves talk. And we have our music in the background. So we'll show you what it looks like right now.
Hey everyone, this August 2nd through the 7th, Emmanuel's high school students will be taking a trip to West Virginia, to Mingo County, to be able to share God's love with the people there. Because I don't know what I'm doing after I say that.
Any kids, 5th grade and younger, and all their families and friends?
I have 5,000 steps.
You do.
5,007. 5,009.
Right. So what are you going to say?
I don't know. What do you want to say? What do you want to say?
What if you say...
So the friend is, hey everybody, I'm Josh.
I'm Aaron.
We're here for video announcements, and I should have probably figured out what we're going to say, so. No.
Catch this, Aaron Rodgers.
So, here we go. I have Hawaiian Punch. Aaron's really not excited about doing this.
I have to go to the cross country meet today. I'm going to be running around like a...
Why? I thought you said you weren't going to run.
Oh, crap.
That's why mine's not carbonated.
So we just wanted to show you that preview. I know it took a little bit longer, but we wanted to show you what it looks like up here in this preview area. Part of the preview area, again, it's not the highest quality that you have, but it shows you what's going to be going on and happening with that.
If you want to, when you're done with your file, if you want to save it, you can just go up here, click on Project, Save As, name it whatever you want, save it wherever you want.
So we're going to name this Bloopers, and we're going to save this. Now this just saves it as the video file. It won't save it as an MP3 or an MP4, sorry. It won't save it as the actual video file. It'll save it as a movie studio file, so you're able to go in there and continue to edit. One of the things to remember is that wherever you pull your videos from, so we pulled ours from our desktop, if you delete them or move them from wherever you get them from, this program won't be able to find them. And so when you open it, it'll ask you where the video file went. So if you're pulling stuff from like a flash drive or from a CD, you need to make sure that the flash drive or CD stays in your computer while you're working on this program and making the video. Because if you take that out, this won't be able to read that file anymore, and you won't have access to it.
So if you actually want to make a movie that you can put on a CD or that you can play with Media Player or whatever, go up here to Make Movie. You can choose what you want to do with it. Usually we just save it to the hard drive. That's how you actually get it on your computer. Pick a name for it. It's already called Bloopers. Pick your format. We usually use WMV. That tends to work the best.
We're going to show you something a little advanced here. We're going to go to advanced options because we found that sometimes it won't go the full screen, the full wide screen. It'll give you a smaller square inside there, or it'll give you a regular view versus the widescreen view, which most things have a widescreen view. And we have found that Sony AVC is the best for that for us. And then Memory Stick, it's because it's widescreen, the highest pixels that you have here
is where we're going to go. So we're going to go to this memory stick one. You can play with it. Again, if you do that and render it, you can just play and look and see which one works best for whatever you're using, whatever projectors you're putting it up on, or whatever avenue you're showing it for. We're going to put it in the folder. We're actually going to put it on our desktop, which will make it just easier for us to find to be able to show you. So desktop's right there. Going to hit OK. And then we're going to hit render.
The amount of time that it takes kind of depends on how many files you used and the quality that you're actually saving it as. And I don't know, we found that this video's a little over a minute long, and it'll take it probably 4 minutes to render. That's probably pretty normal, I would say.
So we'll fast forward while it renders. So you can see that our rendering is complete. You have a couple options. We can open that file. We don't want to open that right now. You can open the folder where the file is, or you can close. We know that it is in our desktop, so we're not going to open any of those. We're just going to close it. Again, we've already saved this bloopers video, so we can exit off of it. And what we're going to have then is we're going to have the bloopers video right down here as an MP4. So we could take this and watch it, do whatever we'd like with it, and that's kind of how we make that. I want to show you a couple more little things that you can do when it comes to the video. A lot of this you just need to play around with to be able to make it work, but we'll change a couple of things here. If you go to this video event FX, right here where it says plug-in chain or remove selected plugin, we want to plug in some more to do some fun stuff. So we can do anything from changing everything to black and white, adding some film effects, adding blur to the entire video. You can just kind of go through here and look.
Black and white.
So what we're going to do, we're going to go to black and white, and we're just going to show you how to do that. So we're going to hit OK, and it's going to pull up right here. And you can see it just changed us from color to black and white. Very easy effect, but can be used for a lot of different things. We're going to get rid of that by clicking this X button, and it'll take it away. Show you can do some things like the color balance or color corrector. You come here and go to the color corrector, and you can change the look and the feel of all the stuff that you want here. Again, if we come here and we do this and we go, okay, that's all done, and we don't like it, all we gotta do is select the color corrector and hit the remove selected plugin. It'll take that away and take it out of the video, so we don't have to worry about that anymore. You could use the advanced edit mode, which changes how everything looks. We like the simple edit mode because you can get to all of this by right clicking. It just seems to be simpler to use the simple edit mode. If you had part of the video that you wanted to stop it at, so let's say after the Spider-Man Batman thing, we're going along and we want to stop right at the end of that, what we can do is we can just go to split, and we would pull that over here. That would leave a gap of nothing in between there, but we'd be able to pull that out. Is there anything else you can think of that we'd like to show them?
I don't think so.
So if you have any questions, again, you can go to the tutorial, ask the question, the help button. We found the YouTube videos are very helpful in making this happen. But
it's a lot of trial and error. A lot of it's just kind of going in and figuring out what works and what doesn't, and just trying. And
yep, you can't break something. You're not able to break a computer program. So by all means, if you click around and find out that you did something wrong, you can always hit undo, or you can exit out the program and start it all back over. But just trying to remember what you did and how you did it is the easiest way to do that. So thanks.
There you go.